The purpose of this tutorial is to give members an understanding of what an electrical circuit is and what are the elements involved in electrical circuits, what makes it operate. Once you know these basic concepts, it's very simple to diagnose faults into your electrical system. Now, I read a lot of posts and I see a lot of members suffering from electrical issues with their Madass. And this is going to be common because the bike is very open to the outside elements. Virtually all your switches, your connectors, all your electronics are just right out there in the open. And especially if you live in adverse weather conditions such as like rain or snow, ice, mud, road grit. These can all be introduced into your connectors, your switches, your electrical systems that can cause all kinds of performance issues. Now, I think a lot of members may be a little apprehensive, maybe even a little intimidated on working on their own electrical systems because they have this belief that you need this really high-tech, elaborate, expensive testing equipment. And that's really not true. For myself, all I have is just a simple little, I don't know, I think it was like $14 or $15 multimeter. I think I bought it at Harbor Freight maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I have a few sets of test leads which you can either make yourself or you can buy them for a couple dollars at any auto parts store. And then I have just a safety pin. And the safety pin is just basically hook my multimeter up to and kind of test through my wiring and see if there's some type of a breach of continuity or the check voltage or see if there's some type of error. But that's really all I have. I think that a lot of members also have the belief that you need to have some vast electrical knowledge to understand and diagnose an electrical issue on your Madass. I personally don't know anything about electronics, so this is kind of like the blind lead in the blind. Nevertheless, if you wanted to balance your checkbook, you really don't need to know anything about calculus or algebra. You just need to know basic arithmetic, subtraction and addition. With the Madass electrical system, you don't really need to know quantum physics. You just have to have a basic understanding of what is composed of an electrical circuit and what are the elements that operate that before you could do any type of testing or diagnostic. Now, as far as an electrical system, or a circuit I should say, there's really only 3 things that you need. You need to have the purpose of why you're having an electrical circuit, which is called the load. The load is in the form of a light bulb, a headlight, a starter, a horn. You know, whatever you're trying to run with electricity is called the load. The next thing you need is some type of a power source. And in most, most motorcycles, automobiles, that power source is going to be in the form of a battery. And then you need some type of a conductor, conducting leads that are going to attach your load to your power source. And again, in most automobiles and most motorcycles, that's going to be in the form of wiring. That's it, just those 3 things: load, power source, and conductor. Now, if you want to make the circuit practical, or if you want to have control of your circuit, you're probably going to put some type of switch. Now, the switch could be on the power side, it could be on the ground side, it doesn't matter. Because reason being, all it is an interruption of the electrical flow going through your wiring. So this way I can turn on my load, I can turn it off. I can turn it on, I can turn it off. I have control. If I want to protect my circuit, then generally I'm going to splice some type of an inline fuse in between, usually between my switch or as close as I can to the power side of the battery itself. This way, if there's some type of a short from power to ground or there's some type of power surge, then what fails is the breaker fuse, and that interrupts the circuit again, not allowing the electrical flow to follow through the wiring. Now, if I'm going to run some type of accessory that's going to require a lot or use a lot of wattage, that's going to require a lot of amperage to or a lot of current to operate that system, then usually I'm going to put a relay here. Now this is if you're running like I don't know, high density headlights, or you want some type of bazooka style air horn, or you're running heated grips. I'm usually going to put like a relay in between my switch and my load. This way the relay takes all the abuse from the current flowing through instead of my delicate switch. But that's basically the three elements, or the three items that you need to run an electrical circuit. Really is just going to be the load, the power source, and of course the conductors. Now the elements that are involved in operating an electrical system, again, are three things. First, you have to have current. And current is the flow of energy. It's actually the flow of electrons passing through passing through your conductor, through your switch, through your load, and back into the battery again. All electrical circuits start at the source and end at the source. We measure current in amperage. Next, we have what they call voltage, which is measured in volts. This is what is pushing, this is the pressure, this is what's pushing the energy through the wiring. The third thing is going to be resistance, and this is measured in ohms. This is the resistance of the electrical flow going through your circuit. So the three things we need for testing, or at least an understanding in testing, is going to be current, which is measured in amperage. The next is going to be voltage, which is measured in volts. And then we need to have an understanding of resistance, which is measured in ohms. But that's really the only three things. Once you have a basic understanding of what an electrical circuit is, what is composed of an electrical circuit, and what are the elements that operate an electrical circuit, the testing becomes very, very simple. If you like this video and you would like to learn a little bit more about how to trace an electrical fault, let me know. I just want to kind of start with this just so we have a basic understanding of what it is, and from there we can do all kinds of different testing, whether it's going to be continuity testing, whether it's going to be static resistant testing, or my favorite, which is called volt drop testing. And by having this knowledge, you'll never have to bring this to a mechanic and leave it with him for 3 or 4 days, spend a couple $100 just for him to clean a connector.